Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this time I'm coming out with another Bigfoot film. This is Sasquatch Mountain. I want to thank a good guy on here, Classic Rocker, for helping me out on this one, so I was able to see this. But yeah, Sasquatch Mountain, also known as Devil on the Mountain, is a film that was made for Syfy Channel. I mean, you could guess. Directed by a guy named Stephen R. Monroe, and if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking to see what else he's done. He did... Oh God, he did that. He did that film It Waits. That film sucked. It Waits was a film... there was a film called It Waits, and it was a film that Dolph Lundgren was going to star, in which he'd be a park ranger dealing with this creature. But there was something about a deal wasn't finalized with the writers, and it got canceled, and then they went on and did this movie with just a shitty film. I would like to have seen it with Dolph Lundgren, to be honest. And this is a guy who did other sci-fi channels, Storm Sail, Ogre, Ice Twisters, Mongolian Deathworm. And this guy did the I Spit on Your Grave remake. There's a sequel to that he's doing? I Spit on Your Grave 2? Wow. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this was made for Sci-Fi Channel, but this is one that would have been on the Sci-Fi Channel. And at the end of the day, there is a couple things I like about this film, but I would say I disliked it. First off, it's filmed in this weird tent. I don't know what you call it. It's filmed in this weird lighting. For example, when people are inside and they look at outside, it looks like there's a nuclear explosion that happened. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like when it's blue, it's really blue, or I don't know how to describe the lighting, but it doesn't look like just a normal film. It's like the lighting's very, I don't know how to describe it. I know I'm not doing a good job. I don't know how to describe it, but just, I like the way this film starts. I should go into it. The film stars Lance Henriksen, and I'm a fan of Lance Henriksen. I like the way it starts off. It starts off with you seeing the video camera, like if it was a found footage or something. But you see the video camera and you find out that it's Lance Henriksen's wife holding it. And she she has this sort of thing she has with her husband. They're playing back and forth. She's pretending to be like her vehicle broke down. He's pretending to be, oh, what can I do for you, ma'am? And you find out they're actually husband and wife. And like she puts the camera and calls them names. Like, yeah, I know I'm grumpy, I'm grouchy. I also love my wife. And she's like, oh, nice one. Like you get the idea that they love each other. And I liked Lance Henriksen in the role. And Lance Henriksen's character plays a tow truck driver. But he's helping his wife out, and then there's something on his sort of radio about there's something out there. And he's like, Lance's like, hey, what's going on? What? And his wife turns with a video camera and sees a silhouette of Bigfoot, but then she's on the road and a car hits her and drives off. And the camera lands and and Lance Henriksen is trying to talk to her, and she goes something like, I seen it and it was so great, and she dies. And I thought the way it opened was really nice because the lady who played the wife thought did fine. That was kind of interesting way to open a film. And I liked Lance Henriksen. I thought he did a good job. Unfortunately, it's about a half hour later until we fucking see Lance Henriksen. Because Lance Henriksen is one of the good things in this film, in my opinion. He really is. And it's a really missed opportunity in my eyes. I mean, there's a lot of other problems, but like Lance Henriksen himself is not the problem. I like what Lance does in this movie, but which pisses me off even more. But it takes place in a small town. You have these robbers led by Craig Wasson. For those who don't know who that is, he was in this film I reviewed called Body Double. Thanks to Exodus 1, who sent me the DVD, which I enjoyed. Body Double. He was also in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. He was the doctor who would fall in love with Heather Langenkamp in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, and was fighting the Freddy skeleton and put the cross and the holy water in the on the skeleton, on the bones. That's Craig Wasson. He's in here as the lead of these robbers. They put on these masks, which I thought were gorilla masks, but then I realized, oh, it's Bigfoot masks. Just the town, after what happened at the very beginning, that tape went out, and the town sort of been known more for Bigfoot. So it's a Bigfoot mask. They steal the money. They head out. You also have this girl in the movie. What's her name? Actress name, I think, is Cerina Vincent. She goes off, how do I explain? It cuts to her, she goes, and there's a Lance Henriksen's place, but Lance isn't there, it's his daughter, and there's a yard sale, and gives the girl the tape, a tape of, the day that her mom died, and I thought that was really weird that you're selling one, you just throw it away or burn it or something, but hey, what do I know? She takes it and goes off for a drive, and then they do this weird editing where it cuts, this girl drives off, and then it cuts to a shot of the woods, or a shot of the mountains, and you just hear crash, and then it cuts back, and apparently the girl crashed into the robbers. There's a really weird fucking edit. I'm like, why is it edited like that? That was fucking strange. And, of course, there's a really shitty shaky cam as well. Really crappy shaky cam. But yeah, we don't even see any of the car crash or anything. We just hear it. And the robbers take the girl hostage. Some cops come in. One of them's a sheriff, played by Rance Howard, I believe his name. Him and these two guys go off. You have a little teeny shootout. You have a very crappy shaky cam. The cops call in Tim Thomerson, another guy. So Lance Henriksen, Craig Wasson, and Tim Thomerson. And Tim Thomerson they really underuse because they bring him in. He's this tracker. He's in the film for probably not even 10 minutes. I mean, I less than 10 minutes combined total because he's in. He goes off to try to track them. Oh yeah, they leave the robbers have a wounded guy. They leave the wounded guy behind, and Bigfoot attacks him, and you don't see blood or gore or anything. You just see the cops finding the body, and this one cop's so fucking stupid. He fucking says, "Is that a real person?" What? What kind of cop? Is that a real person? No, it's in your mind. It's what? I can't even think of. Is that a real person? Did a real person write this fucking movie, or is Michael Worth a synonym for bullshit? Antonym, antithesis. No, Michael Worth is, now he's a writer, he's one of the actors in this movie. What kind of writing is that? Is that a real person? No, it's a mirage. You're going fucking crazy. Put a bullet in your head and make it a day. So they find the dead guy who's the wounded bad guy. Bigfoot kill him, and again, you don't see much of Bigfoot killing the guy. You just get the idea. And again, Tim Thompson goes off, and he's like, "You see that girl that was with him? I like to pick them apples." I like this little 360 shot around Tim Thomerson, and then you get the idea that Bigfoot's behind him. He turns fire. He turns. You hear on the radio he fires, and then he disappears until the very end of the movie. He's not dead, but I'm like, so you got Tim Thomerson, use him for a couple minutes here, then you bring him back to the very end, and don't even use him much there either. And I'm like, granted, you didn't kill him, but you didn't use him. What the fuck? And then you finally see Lance Henriksen after about 30 fucking minutes. Yeah, one little quick scene. Then you have another little scene with him and his daughter. I like the little, not the first, but maybe the second little bit of scene between Lance Henriksen and his daughter, because I like Lance Henriksen's performance. Like she grabs his cigarette and I forget the exact dialogue, but I like the little scene in there. But then it goes back to the fucking crooks walking through the woods, the stupid fucking cops walking in the woods. These two cops, one's a redneck, calling the guy a redskin. The guy's like, I'm not a redskin, I'm a Mexican. And the crooks are fighting with each other. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about these crooks. Craig Wasson is nothing to do. I don't really care about the cops. I don't even care about the sheriff character. I don't. Bigfoot kills a cop with fucking shaky cam, kills him with shaky cam. That's all I can put it. Like, you hear some cracks, so I guess it did something to him. Fucks up this guy, one of the crooks, and so he's, like, trapped in a tree, like, tangled up upside down in a tree. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, the crooks and cops get together, they fucking run off. I like this bit where Lance Henriksen finally gets back in. Yeah, I guess he knew what was going on and went into the woods. I like that the asshole's like, oh, help me, and Lance is like, sure, and just drops his ass down. And I like Lance Henriksen. He's pretty much a badass. Like, what would you do if this? And Lance says, I'd say, kiss my ass, wipe my nose, and then walk away. But I like Lance Henriksen. I would say if you're a Lance Henriksen fan, give this at least one watch for Lance Henriksen, but there's nothing else really to this film. Like, definitely not gore, definitely shitty shaky cam. I don't care for the lighting. Really underusage of Lance Henriksen, especially of Tim Thomerson. But yeah, Lance Henriksen gets the house, sort of badass. During the middle of the night, Bigfoot throws fucking rocks into the place. I liked another bit with Lance where this asshole's like trying to talk tough, and Lance puts the shotgun and slides it to him and goes, go ahead, come and get me. Again, I like Lance Henriksen. He was a badass. I wish they gave him more of a movie. Instead of coming, very cool opening, at least in my eyes, interesting opening, and then don't see him for fucking 30 minutes and you're going back to fucking characters. I don't give a shit about the chick here. Oh, they try to go a little deep with these characters, like, oh, the chick, she had this boyfriend who was an asshole. I don't give a fuck. Or this Asian girl who's one of the robbers, she thinks she's tough. I don't give a fuck. Even Craig Wasson, he's going on about his dad did this and how he wanted him to go in Vietnam or whatever the hell it was he did. I don't give a fuck. It's not interesting. Go back to Lance Henriksen or bring Tim Thomerson. In fact, Lance Henriksen and Tim Thomerson, put them together as a team. Like, you do have the robbers and shit, and that could be your body count, but have Lance and Tim Thomerson go as a team into the woods, and Lance Henriksen still be a badass, still doing the stuff, and Tim Thomerson right by his side, and they both fuck up Bigfoot, at the end of the day. But no, that would be my movie, but that's not this movie. Because, no, what happens is, Lance Henriksen works, he does well with the character stuff, but the others don't. There's this one hurt asshole, he tries to fuck with this girl, the other cop gets taken, Lance goes after Bigfoot, fucking Lance finds Tim Thomerson. Why isn't the movie just about these two fucking guys? The sheriff has a heart attack, Craig Wasson saves him and tells this fucking story about his dad, and I'm like, why, Craig Wasson, you save him? I know you're trying to do something with the story, I don't give a fuck about the story. Wasson goes back for the Asian girl. The Asian girl stupidly runs up to Bigfoot to try to shoot him. She gets her neck broken. Craig Wasson dies, pretty much off screen. I say pretty much. Tim, Lance, and Sheriff get together. Alright, they got guns. But then, all is Bigfoot kills one of the robber assholes. They put the fucking guns down, Lance and Tim. They do this. Bigfoot fucking limps away and dies dramatically. And I guess you get the idea he or she had a baby out in the distance, and I guess it died from the Asian girl and Craig Watson shooting it. And I'm like, God, don't go deep on this. About as deep as my dick. Missed opportunity. Bullshit. Okay, Lance Henriksen 10,000 should have been fucking killing Bigfoot, but you fucked it up.